This will. Oh, don't look at my receding hairline. This might be good clickbait.
There to go.
Have good mosh pitting!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Have Good Sporting, episode 70. Have a terrible episode on deck today. It's a tough time to talk about sports because college football's over. We've wrung out that towel as much as we can. Super Bowl's not here yet. I can't put a Super Bowl episode out right now because game's not happening for 2 weeks. College basketball, we'll get into a little bit, but it's not quite March Madness, you know? We still love the game, but there's nothing like March Madness. College football, we'll get into that. We're going to get into all the things that I just said because there's always stuff to talk about, but no like huge stories right now in the world of sports. But we are going to start with the Super Bowl. We're going to touch on it a little bit. Going to get our boy Ed back on here next week to really dive into this game. But the Seahawks, the mighty, mighty Seahawks, and the New England Patriots headed to Santa Clara, Levi Stadium, Super Bowl 60. Is this Super Bowl 60 on the dot? I think it is. I believe the Seahawks are favored by 5, over under 46 and a half. Seahawks a bigger favorite here than they were in the NFC Championship game. Patriots now a 5-point dog instead of a 5-point favorite. I guess that means the Seahawks would have been favored by 10 over the Broncos, which has to be one of the bigger Super Bowl spreads if that were to come to fruition. Oh, a little voice crack there, which is always the worst. But Seahawks, and I picked the Broncos. I have to put my hand up on that one. But previously I said the Seahawks, like I don't know who can beat the Seahawks. Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith, JSN, look to be unstoppable. And then if you double JSN, Cooper Cup is there, and Rashid Shaheed is gonna be faster than everyone else on the field. And I don't know, and that's not even their best side of the ball. Like the defense. Now the Rams played well. The Rams did play well, but the only team that's played like that this year against the Seahawks has been the Rams. In bad weather, but the Patriots just put up 10 points to win the AFC Championship. It almost seems like, I mean, if you're the Patriots, you have to score probably 28 to win this game and hope your defense can be as good as the Seahawks. But and the Patriots have always been polarizing, but now they have a really likable team. Drake May is everyone's superhero, obviously. His wife is the best or the most favorite wife in the league. And it's like the Patriots are back and the dynasty's back, but the Seahawks are actually the team to beat now. You know, you're no longer, and you're going to be good down the line. Drake May's your franchise guy, obviously, but you're not the top dog yet. But if you win this game, you have to officially say that the Patriots are back, and a lot of people aren't going to want to do that. They're not going to want to do that. Drake May, if you try to think who has the advantage position by position, the Seahawks are just a wagon. I don't know. I really don't know what to say about the Super Bowl. Yeah, we're gonna dive into it more later, but uphill battle. Uphill battle for the Patriots. It's gonna be tough. The big news today, though, in the NFL world, Joe Brady, a legend in college football, legend in the NFL circle too. The Bills promote him to head coach after firing Sean McDermott. And when I first saw this news, thought it made plenty of sense, thought it was a good call, maybe the best offensive mind at any level of college football. And then I went and checked it out, and Bills fans were fuming. Couldn't believe, couldn't believe that they would promote Joe Brady. And I guess the Bills don't like these internal promotions. They can't get over the hump, yet they continue to promote from the inside as if that's the fix. You go back and look in the NFL or in college, an internal promotion often does not work. The last notable internal promotion, Sharon Moore in jail. Bad guy. Now, Joe Brady, if he were to get, fired, I don't think he'd go off the rails like that. But Bills fans not happy. I'm not sure why. But also, I've been happy about things, and people have tried to tell me, hey, let's slow your roll there. And they ended up being right. So the thing is, you never know. Joe Brady has been the hottest candidate on the coaching market in college and in the NFL since he was with Burrow at LSU because he had maybe the greatest single season. Man, that's tough. That's a tough thing there. Joe Brady had maybe the single best offense that college football has ever seen, gets promoted to Buffalo. They have one of the better offenses in the NFL, and he could have been a coach at a top-notch college program and even a good NFL program. Never took the shot. He waits for this internal promotion with the Bills, and the Bills are very upset about it. Well, Bills Mafia seemingly very upset about it. Guess the Bills aren't all in on winning in the eyes of Bills Mafia. They wanted to bring in a new guy. It didn't happen. Um, a curious move. I don't see what's so bad about it. No head coaching experience hurts, but the Bills are not the first team that wanted this guy at head coach. So if you can, hang your hat on something, it's that this internal promotion was a very wanted guy, maybe the most wanted guy for football head coach openings. So don't be too upset. Let Joe Brady cook. I heard the Broncos defensive pass coordinator might be the DC there, but who am I to know? I mean, I'm no insider. Uh, so we'll see. We'll see with the Bills. We'll see with the Bills. They're not going to be bad. That's the thing. They're not going to be bad. It's just this is a team that has to get over the hump because Josh Allen is not getting younger. Okay. So Joe Brady needs to be cooking. And he might do it. He might do it. Steelers hired Mike McCarthy. How about that? Potentially reunited with Aaron Rodgers if Aaron Rodgers come back. But you'll know when those two guys were here at this place, tempers flared on occasion, right? So now Mike McCarthy goes from the Packers to the Cowboys to the Steelers, and you have to expect this guy to coach 15 years. This guy has a Super Bowl a long time ago. He got a Super Bowl. Hasn't gotten one since. The Cowboys were also kind of this team where it's just like when's everything gonna click for them? Things were clicking for the Bills and Sean McDermott never worked out. They canned the guy. Internal promotion. This things never worked out with the Cowboys necessarily. They didn't get things to click, but Mike McCarthy gets hired by the Steelers, the perennial 9-8, 10-7 Steelers. Can he elevate this team? Like, is Mike McCarthy, uh, does he elevate teams beyond what they thought they were capable of? Have we seen him do that yet? I'm not sure. If the Steelers are content with, you know, the occasional 11-6, the occasional 12-5, but a lot of 10-7s and 9-8s, then he's your guy. The problem with Mike McCarthy is it the guy that you want for 15 years? Because it seems like the Steelers hired him because they thought he could be consistent for a long time. And he's been a head coach forever. So there's no doubt that he knows how to coach a football team. It's just how good can a Mike McCarthy team be? Because he's had Aaron Rodgers and Dak Prescott and he won one Super Bowl, but he feels like a guy that should have two. Aaron Rodgers feels like a guy that should have three Super Bowls. Dak should have a Super Bowl at this point. Mike McCarthy never got him there. And I think the Steelers are more of a challenge to get there than the Packers or the Cowboys were. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do this actually. This will be good. This will. Oh, don't look. Don't look at my receding hairline. This might be good clickbait for my Mike McCarthy opinions. Here, how about this short? I'm gonna give you a short right now. Mike McCarthy couldn't win more than one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. Never got the Cowboys to click with Dak Prescott. And the Steelers might be a more challenging job than both of those places. So I'm not sure about Mike McCarthy, especially if you're tied in with this guy for 15 years. Maybe he might still be a perennial 10-7 guy. All right. That's a good short. It's a good YouTube short. Back to the upside down backwards Dunkin' hat. Let's go, baby. Dunkin' Donuts down the sideline. I have on my run of show, I have Gus Johnson impression, and I don't know why I wrote that down. We'll do that last. We'll do that last. Um, I'm talking about this Bediako guy again. Alabama basketball, former two-way NBA contract, Charles Bediako. His last name is Bediako, and he shouldn't be playing college basketball. But the NCAA can't do anything because no one is scared of them. It's like I tried to have a cool analogy, but I got nothing. But wrinkle in this Bediako situation, the judge that granted him the temporary restraining order from the NCAA so he could play, Alabama graduate, Alabama donor, him and his wife are in the 100,000 to $249,999 donated section of donors. They're in that bracket. So this guy has given multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially to Alabama because he wants their teams to be better. And then you think he's coming in unbiasedly and going to say, no, I don't think Alabama should have a former NBA player because I have morals. This guy has no morals. No morals. Yeah, I mean, you can't like why I don't even understand how this guy can judge that case. There's got to be some law that says if you clearly side with one of the parties, then you can't do it. But also the other side of the party, the NCAA, is the the worst governing body of all the governing bodies in the world. Also, I need to look at the camera more. I apologize. So that's the basketball problem right now. We really got to figure it out with this guy because there's nothing stopping other teams from doing that, you know? Especially like what about can I have Walter Clayton back? I feel like I should be able to have Walter Clayton back. If you get to pick and choose an NBA player to have back, then I'll take my boy Wally. In other sports, college football, Darian Mensah. I forgot what the official like wording of it was, but oh, they settled. It was a settlement. Darian Mensah, Duke, they settled, so he's now allowed to transfer. That news came out this morning. As of recording this, like less than a few hours later, he's on campus at Miami. So he's going to Miami. It's not news. It's not breaking news. The writing was on the wall. The writing is now on legally binding pieces of paper. So Darian Mensah is going to Miami. No shock there. But once again, it's these players doing whatever they want, no repercussions. You know, he signed a contract with Duke. So now like four things in life were guaranteed. Death, taxes, no, well, how does the saying go? Death, taxes, contracts are legally binding. Now the only thing in life, death and taxes. And at this point, if like any NCAA institute wants to evade their taxes, Probably can just go ahead and do that because, the IRS might get you, but the NCAA won't. So give it a shot. Um, this has not been a very long episode. I don't know what to talk about anymore. I finished Stranger Things, which is good. Now my 7 p.m. to like 11 p.m. windows every day are back open. So I can hang out with my friends again. I've been spending a lot of time with Mike and Eleven and Hopper and Nancy. So that's been fun, but it's over. So need another show to watch. But I'm not a big show watcher. I get into one show real deep probably every year, and then I can't bring myself to focus on another show for a while. Um, so we'll cut it here, I think. If there's news to talk about on Thursday or Friday, maybe I'll do another episode, but we'll be back. We'll be back next Monday or Tuesday whenever Ed can get on the show. We'll talk about the Super Bowl. And then post Super Bowl, we're back to college sports. That's what this show is. We're celebrating college sports. We're honoring it with terrible journalism. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I apologize for an egregious episode, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, you got barbecue back there? All right. There's your Gus Johnson. I love you. Bye.